Good morning to you all. Om Shanti. Today's theme, as you must have read, I believe, well, this is what I believe and I think. Slowing down is more of a mindset, energy, and perspective. Sometimes patience is a process of allowing things to happen at their own pace and to be as they are. The opposite of patience is forcing, speeding, and rushing through things. If we can slow down, we can create more space that allows us to be more patient. Let's invite Nidhi Didi after a very long time. Nidhi, all yours.
Shanti,
Om Shanti.
good morning.
It's been a
Om Shanti.
while. Lovely seeing you again.
You all were very patiently waiting for me, so thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So it's very nice to see you all again after a long time, and wonderful to have seen all the faces again. So feeling good. And today's topic, as Panaban beautifully, in essence, she did mention about what is patience and what is force. And it's not about long term, but even in everyday life, how many of you think that we do get impatient for little things? Do we? We get irritated. We get are kari
Yeah.
do de. That kind of expressions sometimes do come in, right? Or maybe it's also a way that I want to, there's a lot of good wishes. We all human beings have a huge store of good wishes. Shubhavna, like nice intention. And we have some desires. So what happens is when this desire and the intention comes together, sometimes we don't even know okay, my intention is becoming my desire. Sometimes it gets uh, intertwined. And with that good intention, with that pure feeling, and wanting good for others, we start unknowingly, subconsciously, we start expecting. Very on a lighter note, Um, and also, I might get connected to my role, and that role that I'm playing, that position that I'm in, that role, in that dynamics, whatever position I am, like say in a household, I'm in a position of a mother. Very simple, right? So in that, from that position, I have a lot of good wishes, but also there is a little attachment. And then there is simple expectation, because there is a lot of good wish for the children, for the family, for the extended family, and how there's a vision. And somewhere there is this little desire that I have a say. If I'm saying something, at least it should be heard, at least it should be worked upon. Do we have that kind of subtle desires? Like I'm saying something, I'm having a say in my family. And how do I recognize I have that desire? I don't have that desire, I have that expectation, or I don't have the expectation, because day to day life, you won't feel it. But say one point in time, you said something in the family, in the gathering, and you were very sure about it. You're very determined about it. You knew what are the flaws, you know what are the benefits, you knew everything about it. And you are speaking, and nobody heard, or it got rejected, or somebody said, oh, no, you don't understand the whole picture. And that's why better don't interfere, or something like that, right? How do you feel at that time? Yes, Pratnapan.
not valued or
Correct. Not valid.
Guilty.
Sorry?
Guilty.
You feel guilty that why did I even say? I knew this would happen. Why did I even say? I should have controlled myself, or I should not have. I mean, this has been over a time. I know how they would react, but I don't know why I still have to say, because my bhavna is there. So the moment I'm feeling low, I'm feeling bad, I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling mad, whatever I'm feeling, which is not a high vibrational energy, or which is making me going lower and lower. And then maybe I'm not expressing my emotions. Maybe I'm just being quiet and I'm suppressing what I'm feeling. I'm just, okay, it's fine, let it go. I'm getting on with my work, with my life. And then you don't know, but somewhere this all gets stored. Somewhere in the subconscious, all these feelings get stored of not being valued, of not being heard, of not being okay. I'm not even aware of it, but it happens. It leaves an impression. And then at one point, that cupboard inside, which is storing all this, gets full, right? And then it overflows. So one thing is, am I being kind enough? And do I have that much patience with myself that I take a pause? And when these things are getting stored, I have that distance created between me and the situation where I can say, calm down. This is not important for me to store. But I can only do this, I can only process that if I take a pause, if I practice patience with myself. Otherwise, when that cupboard opens and everything is overflowing, I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'm feeling completely depressed, and then it's going out of my control. And now I'm seeking help from everybody, attention from everybody. And again, they are getting irritated because how long could they do, right? So first and foremost, patience is not, I don't have to practice patience with people, things, and situation. The first thing, I have to practice patience with myself. Very important. If I'm not able to practice patience with myself, I will not be happy with myself. I might be doing great things in the world. I might make an impact on the world. I might be a big celebrity, whatever it is. I'm doing good in whatever I'm doing in my life, but still I won't feel happy and I won't feel content. Yeah. And somewhere I'll be building up frustration within myself. And now once that frustration is building in, what's going on inside me? Some kind of subtle frustration. Now, what's going to happen outside in my relationships? The first and foremost target is whatever happens inside, who gets affected first? Myself. And then after me is people who are really near and dear to me, who are close to me. Right? And then once it's out, I feel bad about it. Why did I do this to them? They had got nothing to do with it. Why am I behaving? And then I'm feeling more sad. And then the cycle, the vicious circle starts. So rather than going into all that clutter, let me take a pause. Let me use my intellect. We are very, very accustomed and we have a beautiful habit of thinking from our hearts. How many of you think from your dil se sochte hain? No? We get emotional and we get we feel the vibrations and then we end up taking a decision and sometimes we make a fool of ourselves, right? Because I knew this would happen. Still, I got carried away with my emotions and things like that. So rather than getting carried away with emotions can only carry me when I allow them to do that. Which means I'm not staying in my self-respect. I'm not using my intellect. So, one, I have to understand I need to practice patience with myself. When I'm practicing patience, I am doing three things. One, I am respecting myself. My self-respect goes high because I am considering my own thoughts. I'm not expecting other people to do that for me. I'm doing it for myself. Two, I'm self-aware. I'm more aware of where I stand, what my feelings are, what my truth is, how I would want this to happen. Three, self-value, self-worth. So self-awareness, self-respect, self-worth. And when all these, the index of this combination of all three goes higher, it's very, very interconnected with my happiness index. More self-worth, more self-respect, more self-awareness, the more happy I am. The more light I am. The heaviness that has been built up over the years, I'm not saying one day or 2 days, it's built up over the years. And there has to be time. I have to give myself time to let go of that heaviness. I have to be patient. Now, what happens in life? I don't know if you have experienced, but very often the observation has been that when something happens, I know, like say, for example, how many of you have ever felt low in life? A little bit low than your usual, right? Now, what is our instant thing about it? Do we allow ourselves to be low, or do we push ourselves to get back to normal? What do? We push ourselves, right? How many of you do that? Because we think that it's not nice to be low. It's not a good energy. Like, just forget it. And so what we do is we are rejecting our emotions at that point of time. Do you realize that? And the moment we reject our own emotions, what's going to happen? That feeling of being rejected gets reinforced in our mind. So it's not other people rejecting me. It's me rejecting my own self. That means I'm not valuing my own self. Right? So how do I process when I'm feeling low? What should we do? The first and foremost thing, accept I'm feeling low. Accept that I'm having a different emotional vibrations right now. And rather than rejecting, let me work on it. Let me process it. Let me go deeper to it. Let me understand where this is coming from. What are the roots? And if I can be patient enough with myself and spend some quality time with myself, go deeper within myself, understand where this is coming from, what is happening, what is going on, why I'm feeling so and so, whatever it is, to have a very kind, compassionate conversation with yourself. What's wrong? Why are you feeling like this? Where is this? So when I am addressing the roots, only then I can uproot it from myself. Otherwise, it's going to stay there. Next time, it will be a bit more stronger than it was previously. So yes, feel and practicing patience with myself allows me to be more self-aware and process things. Now, normally I would just take 10 minutes to get over it. Maybe I take 20 minutes to get over it. Maybe I take half a day to get over it. But then it's over for good. Do you see? So let me give that 5-10 minutes to understand, process, and talk to it and say, okay, got it. I understood what I have to do. Tata, bye-bye. Take care. And then allow it to go rather than pushing it out of the door. Doesn't work. It will come back again. So when I'm talking about patience with self, is exercising not just feeling low, but also feeling happy. Because sometimes when I'm getting overexcited, again, I lose myself in that moment. I'm so happy. Everything is yes that moment. You know, when you're happy and somebody comes and say, "Can I do this?" Yes, 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 do, no problem. When I'm sad or when I'm feeling low, again, I'm not in my control. If I'm feeling too excited, too happy, again, I'm not in my control. Do you all have experience like that? You're in very good mood, top of the world, and you've done something or you've promised something, and then you've realized, Arey, why did I say this? That what happens? That does happen, right? Now I have to do. That's another labor work then, because I did it in the spur of the moment, but I really didn't want to do it, right? So patience is being neutral. Patience is allowing yourself to be who you are. Yes, you enjoy your emotions, you understand them, you express them, but also be in charge of them. So, being patient with myself allows me to be in charge of my own feelings, my own emotions, and more importantly, my own thoughts. Because these are the thoughts that will give birth to feelings and emotions. So, if I want to be in charge of my feelings and my emotions, I have to be very, very aware about my own thoughts. So, practicing patience with myself will then allow me, then create a habit, that of practicing the virtue. And then when I have done it for myself, I've seen the benefits, then I'm practicing the same with others. Some people are, say, for example, you have someone who is very irritating. Yeah. And in your family, you could see that if that person comes, some person would say, I can't stand it. And they'll go. And some would sit quietly with them, how you talk, I'm listening. Aram se, I'm listening. Right? So what is happening? It's the same personality, but the response of people changes. So some cannot stand, some can listen aram se. So what is happening is I have to allow people to be themselves. And I can only allow people to be themselves without correcting them, without guiding them, without saying you should do this or you should not do this, without giving all the, preaching good things to them. Just be who you are. But that is easy or difficult? Because the moment somebody comes with that, I know it's not good for this person. Let me give some gyan to this person. It becomes like very natural. Ki, bhai, don't do this, do this. Yeah, don't, things like this, right? So we automatically, because of our good feelings and Shubhavna, we do try to correct or try to guide or try to, make them aware. That's not my role. That's not my job. Did they ask me for that? Then why am I doing? Why do I have to give free advice all the time? And then you'll see they will not value your advice, do they? Every time you've given free advice, how many have valued that? Tell me. I don't want. Why are you giving me? Simple. So there's no point interfering in somebody else's drama. And to understand that, I have to practice patience because I'm seeing it's not happening right. Okay, don't see. It's my problem. No? It's not their problem. I'm seeing it's not happening right and then I'm giving free advice. Not needed. Both actions are not needed. Unless somebody comes and talks to you and asks you, then give advice because they are ready for it. Otherwise, what will happen is you will lose respect from them after a certain point of time. They might start avoiding you. They might start hiding things from you. So, best is practice patience, practice acceptance. The other thing is sometimes we are very forceful, but we are not knowing about it. Like, say, you'd ask me to do something. You can ask me, that's fine. And if I'm saying it's not possible, because I know in my capacity, it's not possible. Has that happened with you? You've asked somebody something, and that person has been super honest with you and said, no, no, it won't work for me. I don't think so. I can manage this. Has that happened? Right? Right. But then what do we do? Do we accept that? Okay, it's not possible for them. Yeah.
Take a step back.
Yes, that's good. If you take a step back, and after some time, when you see that it could be a possibility, what would you do?
Patience.
Do
Say
you
no.
really practice patience? If yes, great.
I try to a lot.
But if we don't practice patience, what could happen? Like, say I am impatient and this person is also not practicing patience. What's going to happen now?
Conflict.
Conflict, arguments. That mood, that whole relationship comes to an understanding of this doesn't work. It's not working. Right? So if one is impatient, say, no, I've said, why don't you do it? I want you to do it. So this wanting someone to act according to ourselves,
it doesn't work.
it will never work. It will absolutely never work because that person has clearly said it's not possible. So one, I'm not respecting their views, first and foremost. Second, I'm trying to impose my feelings because I want it. So what's going to happen? And we could be on the either spectrum. I could be doing that to others could be doing it to me, you just think from both the perspectives at this time. So once the person is forcing something on you or asking you or requesting you again and again and again and again, knowing that it's not possible by you, one, the person loses respect. Two, the person will start avoiding. Unless that person is practicing patience and is trying to understand your excitement, your love, your care, your intention, and being patient with you and nice to you, that's another story. That's absolutely another story. Right? If that person has that spiritual maturity and doing that, that's fine. Right? But if not, too impatient,
Conflict.
So if there is something happening like this, can I practice my spiritual maturity to understand where this person is coming from? What is the need of this person? And can I be kind enough to say again and again, 1,000 times, it's not possible? Or do I have to say something? I told you once, can't you understand? And just get irritated and get agitated and express your anger. So one is practicing patience with myself. Two is practicing patience with life, with people, with situation. And the third one is practicing patience with life. You might have seen, if you observe, there are people with different thresholds of patience. Somebody could practice patience with life beautifully, but not with individuals. Like, say, for example, in childhood, something happened to me. Somebody said something. And I will practice patience and I'll say, when the right time will come, I'll show it. And then I'm working hard since my childhood. And then I've come to a position that I've acquired a position, a status in the society. And now the people who were cribbing and telling me off are now respecting me. I didn't answer back at that time. I didn't fight. I didn't get into an argument. I was just silent. I was patiently listening what they have to say. I trusted myself. I got on with my life quietly. And now, after a few years, those personalities have changed. They are now talking good about me. The ones who were crazy with me at that one point of time. So I have practiced patience over there. I'm waiting for the right time. I'm waiting for the right opportunity and the right way to express how I have to or I should be expressing. So we do practice, some personalities do practice patience with life, but the same individual throughout the day might not be able to stand people. Why do you do this? And right? Get irritated or wants their own, they have got their boundaries very clear. So patience is such a beautiful, the Hindi word is dhairya. Have you heard about this word dhairya or dheeraj?
Dheeraj.
Dheeraj is still like dheeraj dharo, dheeraj rakho. But dhairya is more deeper. It's more grounded. Dheeraj is like having it on a daily level. Dhairya is something that I'm imbibing within myself. And if I have that dhairya in me, that poiseness in me, that understanding of whatever is happening, because the dhairya comes from the word, like it's got a correlation with dharti, dhairya, right? Which means being so grounded, like the earth, grounded, calm, taking everything in, understanding, not accumulating, and allowing things to happen. If you want to talk to me, great. If you don't want to talk to me, great. That is the area. If you want to talk to me, great. If you don't want to talk to me, you are not good. That is not the area. So if I'm not feeling good, great. I'm feeling good, still great. With myself, with others, with life. And also not to force things for yourself. Like say for things, even on the spiritual path, there might be some situations where things are not working out. Pause. Allow it to happen by itself. I don't have to push. I don't have to speed up. Because the more you try to speed, you're left behind. Have you seen that? Because things not working. I want to go against the current. Doesn't work. But yes, I should have the patience and the courage to go against the current, having the dhairya. Like I want to go, I'm going to go against the current, go. No problem. I'm not saying don't go, but have patience. Don't let that force of the current affect you while you are trying to go across it. You have to have that strength. So patience also induces the strength that one person needs. And that's why you see in the olden days, they used to go for tapasya. You must have heard that this rishi did 1,000 years tapasya, this one did so many 100 years tapasya. What did they do? They didn't eat, they didn't feed, they didn't go out doing something. They were on their one leg. Even the body functions, what God knows, working or not working, just standing there in 1 feet for 100 years. How did that happen? Like they didn't even take break for 1 second. How did that happen? How did that work? Strength. Mental, emotional, physical strength. Now I have to check for myself all these three: mental, physical, and mental, emotional, physical. How much strength, how much muscle power I have accumulated. Do little things put me down? Do my thoughts go here and there? Do I get tired unnecessarily? My body is not supporting me. So these are like red flags for my spiritual journey. If this is happening, I know I have to take a pause. And I have to spend more time with myself. Quality time with myself. Does that make sense? Any questions? Anybody has any questions? Yeah.
Up
Yes,
till up till now, what we have discussed is just makes so much sense. And our today's topic is having patience with all the situation. That is the star. That having to not to say whatever comes in your mind. Step back and just think before you say whatever you want to say.
see, because as human beings, we don't have the capacity, or we do have the capacity, but we don't exercise that capacity enough of seeing the bigger picture. The moment we see something happening, we get stuck in what I'm seeing right now, and I start responding or reacting according to what I'm seeing. We often don't take a break to understand the bigger picture. And bigger picture, I tell you, is huge. It's not it's not just little screen or little, it's huge, because everybody who's involved in the situation has their own drama. Say, for example, there is a life situation where 4 people are involved with you, right? So you have your own baggage. You have your big thing to sort out in life, right? Similarly, those 4 also have their baggages, their experiences, things that they need to sort out. Now, if they are undergoing a situation and you are just observing and still you're getting affected, first imagine how they are getting affected. And then, it's like the butterfly story. You must have heard that there was a little child who saw a cocoon and tried to see the butterfly struggling to get out of his cocoon. And he just went and opened the cocoon so the butterfly could come out easily. Mm-hmm. Now, what happened to the butterfly? Yes, it was easy to get out, but could it survive?
No.
No, because the wings did not have enough strength. So the law of nature is, when you allow things to happen the way they are meant to happen, then every individual will fill in strength within themselves. If I'm becoming impatient and trying to fix things before time, then I don't know, but if you observe and you see that similar situation with the similar issue will arise after a few years again. Have you noticed that? If I've tried to help and fix and, pull somebody out of a situation or rescued someone out of the situation, 10 years later, the person is in the same situation and you're trying to make them understand, learn from your past and do this and do that. And again, that person temporarily comes out and then back. Or maybe I see myself in the same position after a few months, once I've pushed myself out. So very important is allow the universe, the drama of life to play itself. Sometimes when it's the right time for me, I'll have to intervene. And you'll know it's the right time if I'm patient enough. If not, I'm going to think it's the right time at the wrong time and function at that time and make a mess out of it and come back. Yes, Pragnava.
Just wanted to share. I think we all must have gone through this. It's a situation with mom and children. Once we understand what you're trying to say, having patience and understanding their baggage and our baggage, their generation and our, I think things will get a lot better. Because from my perspective, whatever I'm saying, maybe I'm right. But if you have to take a step back and listen to what they want to say, and then from their prospects, they might be right as well. Just because we have given a birth to our child, that doesn't mean that I own them or I have all the right to bang on them. Whatever I'm saying is right.
And that won't work.
Yeah, exactly.
It won't work. It won't work because I'm not respecting their views enough, and I'm wanting them to do the way I want. And it's going to create an emotional suppression in them as well, because they love you, they respect you to the core, and they want you to be happy. And some people might also make you happy at the cost of being sad and being suppressed themselves.
True.
And then at one point of time, you would say, oh, my child is so good, it always made me happy, always obeyed me. What happened now? Why suddenly there is an rebellion thing coming up? Is this because I never paused to hear their views?
True.
And also not just the next generation, but even, like, say I'm sitting in my drama of life is different. I'm at house, I'm looking after children, I'm doing this, that. So I'm in a different context at home. They are in a different context outside home. They might be meeting 10,000 people outside, and that 10,000 people have an influence on them, and also they have their baggage. Now, that person is in a situation that wants to fulfill your expectations and the expectations of that 10,000 people out there, and in the middle of something and struggling and trying to fix things. And what he needs is your compassion, your support. And instead of that, there is a force. Would that work?
No, I don't think so. That wouldn't work. No.
It's easy now when we are seeing the bigger picture makes sense, but when it happens to us in reality, अरे तू सांभर मारी बातों तो ने coach काम कर, listen to me, do it this way, it will be good for you. So I am judging and I am making decisions for someone who is old enough, capable enough, potential enough to make decisions. Mhm. So what should I do in this situation? In this situation, I'll just come back to you 1 second. In this situation, rather than imposing my thoughts, can I, being a mother, can I allow them to see the bigger picture? Can I induce that capacity in them so that they can take the right decision rather than imposing my decision? Because if I know this is the right decision, then let it be Dia's decision. And for that, it's my responsibility at some point, if I really am involved in it, to allow them to see it and then decide for themselves what's best.
True, true.
Mhm. And if they cannot see, practice patience. Be there for themselves. Mhm. Yes, Pannaben, you had something to share?
What at that point when you were talking about it, it reminded me of what if they think they are the best and not listening to you, and they are right all the time. They assume themselves they're right. You should listen to me, not me listening to you. It's sometimes like that, and
Yeah.
this has happened. This
And
has.
when that happened, how do I feel?
I just leave it to it. I
No. I'm not saying what do you do. I'm saying what do you feel?
angry.
Exactly. So now when I'm feeling angry, what is happening? I've lost my control on myself.
Oh, yeah.
I am not in the right position even to communicate at that time. Right? So I have felt rejected. I've felt hurt. I've felt abandoned. And that my defense mechanism has come on. And there is no conversation happening. There's just an argument happening at that time. Right? So that is where I have to practice patience and say, yes, you're right. I know you're right. But do you think there could be an other side of the coin? I'm just sharing with you.
Yeah.
Can I be in control to show them the other side? And then if they don't want to see it, they don't want to consider it, their drama. I should not lose my happiness.
That's true.
Because
Very
I
true.
can tell them as a mother, I did guide you, but then you decided to do this if you are in a problem. And then over a point of time, they'll listen, they'll understand that this person is not arguing, this person is not imposing. See, when I'm trying to do something and they're saying I'm the best, in the same moment, they're also crying and shouting out, I don't want anybody to take charge of my life.
True. Very true.
They're also shouting out that, understand, I don't want to be controlled, or I don't want to be told, or I don't want to be, spoon-feeded with things. Because as a mother, we are used to do it, as a child. Le beta, do this, le khan. Like we're always there to give. We're always on the top of the game. And now they've grown up, so they want to go on the top of the game. Things like that. You understand?
Very true. Yeah.
So then I have to learn where to step back, and I have to also understand it's their life. Let them get on with it. What if I was not there? What would they do? Let me make my child that empowered that even if I'm not there, they have this sanity to take the right decisions
Mhm.
rather than imposing my decisions and making them handicapped.
Yeah.
Yes, Marirama.
I think we as mothers don't have the patience to listen to our children. And that is the greatest mistake we make, not listening.
There is a difference between listening and hearing, you know. So that person might tell you blah 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 blah. You've heard it, but it's not, you've not understood it. Mhm. And that's why some children might say, oh, you don't listen to me,
Mm.
you don't understand me. Because, like, see, right now I said in this example where Barnaben was saying that they are saying I'm the best or I know everything, you don't tell me. So I'm just listening the words, oh, I'm better than you don't have to say anything. But I'm not hearing the shout that the child is saying, the defensiveness that the child is coming out with, the thing that's saying, please don't control me. Please don't, impose things on me. I'm not hearing that. Mm. So when I'm patient with myself, I'm practicing patience, that dhairya will allow me to go beyond the words that are coming and will allow me to go deeper on a vibrational level to understand where this person is coming from, what this person really is telling me. And when I'm able to do that, bingo, they'll only come to you. Otherwise, red flag, what will happen? They'll go outside. They won't come to you. They'll go to somebody else who they think can understand or can hear. And God knows what company would that be. But yes, they'll go outside of that family support system and create another support system which could work for them or which could work against them. We don't know. And then there's a Gujarati term, because most of you are Gujarati here. There's a Gujarati term, chokro hath mathi nikdi gaya. Like, so when you tell this, and I really laugh when I hear this from the mothers and from people. Like, is it like were you so long using your child as a horse, lagam pakad? So you're trying to control, and then that horse is saying, I don't want to be controlled, I'm going out. So how am I treating the child at the first place that it had to, why do I need to have them in my hands, or that possessiveness or that attachment? So it's a deeper story about that relationship. You're not getting into that relationship issues, but patience. Coming back to the power of patience. Yes, Salavan.
Yeah, when you're talking to the child, your child or somebody, and you listen to them and you say, and the child will tell you, you're not telling me anything. You are just saying, What can you say at that time?
No, then you have heard and then respond accordingly, no?
Yeah,
when
but
the child is
that,
asking you for a response, that means they're seeing you as a rescuer, which means they're seeing you as a guide. They're seeing you as someone who's more aware of the world than them. So when they are sharing with you with their intention of getting something in return, then it's your prime duty to do that. Otherwise, they'll feel irritated. And again, the same cycle. Mom doesn't listen to me. She doesn't respond to me. She doesn't care about me. They can think anything. They are free to think anything about it. And then you'll say, oh, my child is not understanding me. No, we have created that ourselves. So when somebody comes and wants to talk and is talking and is sharing something, first and foremost, make them aware of their strength. Bring them to if you don't have the answer, you don't have to answer, you don't have to fix it. You say, if I am feeling low and I come to you and say, Sarla, when this happened and this happened, blah 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 blah, right? I'm sharing something to you. You don't know what my story is. You are helpless in that situation. What are you going to tell me? You're just going to listen to me, right? Right? But
Yeah.
in this situation, what you could do is you could make me aware, or you could remind me. You can't fix my situation because you don't know the whole story. Correct, I agree. But
Yeah.
can you know me enough to remind me my strengths?
Mm.
Right? You know me enough to bring me into a position which is much higher than what I'm right now.
Mm. Mm. Yeah.
That's all I need from you. I don't need solution. I just need that strength to fight the situation that I'm going through, or get through the situation, not even fight, just to get through the situation. As a mother, if I'm coming to you, as a child, if I'm coming to you, then as a mother, can't you reinforce that strength in me?
True.
Mm. True.
But
Yeah.
there again, Nidhi, in Salabin's question, um, I think the child was not thinking that my mom is thinking what to say next. Or Salabin should have said, okay, repeat what did you say because I want to think about it twice. The child is still not understanding, and you just say,
I
mm,
can't expect the child to understand.
exactly, no. So this is what I'm saying, that a mother has to stop and say, okay, repeat what did you say? All right, this is it. This is what I think. And let the child continue his story. That's what I would do.
Or even if you don't have any words, it's not necessary. I mean, I agree to you, Panabin, but
Yeah.
sometimes just a compassionate hand over the head,
Yeah.
I think will be all
Yeah.
right. Or come, sleep on my lap, and just, pampering the child.
Pampering. Yeah.
Gets a lot, works a lot, because that child is looking for safety. The child is looking for security. They won't say it. They won't say that I need a hug, because they're old enough to do that.
Mm.
They're old enough to come and express, I'm feeling vulnerable. But if I'm patiently listening, I'm seeing, I'm observing, I'll pick up. What does the child need at this moment?
Mm. Thank you.
So can we have 10 minutes of meditation? Um, just wanted to, one more thing before we go into meditation. I'm sure Panavan did message. Is anybody, I really want to know, because we are doing the program for the next month and so on. Does anybody really want to do the Raj Yoga course again, or for the first time? Or you're okay with it? So do let, yes, Panavan.
I was going to mention today, because I haven't had any responses to my message,
That's fine.
and I thought of repeating today, thinking, asking them now, what is their position, because I would like to do it again, and it's just to remind yourself what is what. That way, like patience, you love to know how to get um, get the knowledge of having the patience, how to get the patience.
Yeah. So what we could do is, if there is only few people, because I know most of you will have done it. So, but there were a few requests coming. So the regular courses that happen in Wembley, like the meditation course, and you all can join in for that if anybody individually has the feeling to, revise or do it again and do a refresher. Most welcome to contact us. Right? So let's calm down ourselves. Take a few deep breaths and be comfortable with yourself, the way you are in this moment. I allow this silence within myself to take me into a phase where I'm just with my pure self. Where I can accept myself with everything that I've done or thought of. Taking a deep breath in, I now allow myself to go beyond the awareness of the roles that I am playing. I let go of that consciousness of my role and my costume, my body. And I see myself as a beautiful point of light. Beyond from this body, I, the point of light, radiating vibrations of peace, and powerful, yet very peaceful. And I see myself surrounded with God's divine light that penetrates deep within me. And makes me feel safe, secured, and strengthened enough. I absorb all this energy and come back to the awareness of my present moment. Open my eyes if they are closed and accept the reality patiently. Feeling grounded, feeling more in control. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you.
Thank you, Didi. That was a
Thank
wonderful
you.
session.
It was really nice.
Thank you. I'll take your leave. This is another session back to back. You all can continue.
Thank you.
Beautiful
Thank you,
session.
Didi.
Thank you.
Thank
Really
you.
nice for you to come back again. And what we have learned today, patience attracts happiness. It brings near that which is far. Patience is the road to wisdom. Patience, persistence, and perspirations make an unbeatable combination for success. Patience is a conquering virtue. Don't you think so?
True. Agree.
positive grit, and patience are the wheels that you move on the road to happiness.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you very much for joining in. And it was have a lovely, lovely Sunday.
Thank you.
Take care.
Same to you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Panna Ben.
everyone.
Panna Ben,
Thank
નવો
you.
કોર્સ ચાલુ કરો તો મને કહેજો.